Of course, it will come to a point, like at first, you're just gonna have to learn to manage your own schedule, and managing the leads would be the most important task of the day.
You're listening to the Full-Time Lash Artist podcast. If you want to jumpstart your lash career, you can also watch Cosme's free lash training at www.fulltimelashartist.com. Let's grow.
Did you have any sales experience at all first, or no? I mean, in all these calls over the phone, like sales calls over the phone. Were you able?
I had supervisors to do.
They were handling the
Sometimes
sales.
depends.
Okay.
Most of
So,
them.
because you had a good point. When you called or texted, she replied in a couple of minutes, right? That if you can take one thing out of everything that we'll talk today, that should be the number one thing to remember, right? So let's assume, actually, you tell me, what do you want to happen? Let's say you have a magic wand. Let's say in a few weeks you are already confident with your ability to provide the service and whatnot. What do you want to happen in 6 months?
Yeah, planning, huh? Okay,
Well, we want to work it backwards.
I want to have the full schedule, like 40 hours. I don't feel it's going to
Let's
right?
let's not talk in hours,
Like
because
maybe,
now hours are not as
but
relevant.
6 months. It's not 2 months.
No. I said let's not talk in hours. Hours are not relevant as a business owners. Let's talk in clients, or maybe
That's what I meant to say. In my head, 40 hours means
I know.
40 people.
40 people.
Yes.
You want to be an overachiever and do
am
one
overachiever.
person in 1 hour? All right. So before we reverse engineer those 40 clients, let's talk a little bit about the service. Like before this, were you getting your lashes done as a client?
Yes.
Gotcha.
For 5 years. Probably.
For 5 years?
Yeah.
Perfect. At the same salon all the time, or you switched?
I switched because the first lady, she left to Florida, and then I found another one.
She left Florida.
The
Okay.
first one.
And then the second one,
I
you were
got
there.
because I did the hair with her mom, and I still do hair.
So what? About 3 years and a half with the same person?
Yeah, probably. Long
Perfect.
time.
What do you think is lashes a service that women need? Like if tomorrow the world ends, do women need lashes?
No.
What does that mean for the service itself? It puts it in it's not a necessary service. It puts it in a bucket that's called luxury service. The reason that's important is once we understand that, we now know, all right, roughly, let's say, how much you were paying, if you don't mind, over there for a set? $200?
$80?
80 for refill, but then the first time,
I don't know, 120?
oh, it's pretty cheap, huh?
Yeah.
This is in Cape Cod?
Yes.
It's,
But there are places like Russian girls that way. She's pricey. She's pricey.
no, it's supply and demand, and it all depends. We had this conversation with someone, with another student, I think 3 weeks ago. She said, I'm planning to do it from home. I mean, she's already been doing it from home, and she had this question about, all right, but at what point can I raise my prices versus how do I do market research if all my competitors are actually having a salon or they're doing it from a salon? And I said, look, yes, it's a valid point that I shouldn't say never, but you're not going to start charging exactly like what let's say the highest end salon in Cape Cod does if the plan is to do it from home. Right? You just have to be upfront with your clients, and you just have to understand that, and that's fine. On the other side, you don't pay extra rent, right? So then the difference in price will come up from there. And then she said, "Well, I found a place and it's $1,000 a month. When do you think I'm ready for me to move to that place?" And I said, "Well, do you make $1,000 from lashes already?" No. All right, let's not focus on getting the $1,000 rent yet.
Right.
Let's put that money into some Google campaigns, Instagram campaigns. Let's get you a few more referrals that you can get the monthly recurring revenue at least over $1,000. Because You think in theory, all right, $1,000, but if you charge $1,000, that's not all profit, and you still have, things to pay. You still have expenses. So let's take it to a $1,500 a month, and then that 1,000 you can. And now you can increase. Now you can start slowly. Typically, you're looking at 20% when you raise your prices, and you have to be okay understanding that probably 20% of your clients will stop coming. Because if you start from home, it's going to be a clientele that you build that can not necessarily just afford, because $20 increase, 20% increase out of $100. So let's say you said you pay $80 for the refill. 20%, it's $96, right? 20% is $16 extra. So it's $96. It doesn't make a huge, it's like 2 coffees, right? It doesn't make a huge.
I don't buy those coffees, way too expensive.
It's, I agree, but it doesn't make a huge difference in someone's life. However, there will be some people that will just set their standard in terms of, right, I cannot pay more than this service if this happens here. If the salon that's higher end and whatever charge $100, for example, right? And it's just, you have to be okay with, but if you raise your prices with 20% and 20% of your clients leave, you're still gonna make more money because of the difference. Now, of course, you're not raising your prices until you're booked up, right? So at first, there's a little, math to do, how long it's gonna take you to do a full set, because a full set versus a refill, it's a little bit of a difference, right? So let's assume,
I told you.
Let's assume it's $200 for first time visit. My handwriting is awful, so let me know if you don't understand. And then, what is it for refill? 150? 120? I mean, let's make it 100 just to make the numbers easy. So, and then this is 2 times a month, because it's every 2 weeks, right? So if somebody has to pay $200 plus another $200 for the first month, and then we have an additional, on average, if you do a decent job, people will stay about a year on average with the same salon or the same lash tech. Various reasons why someone will leave. It can be they have to travel down south and they want to take a break. They might have an infection for a little bit or whatever. But if it's, let's say it's 10 months additionally to the first month in here, just to make the numbers easy. So that would be an extra 2,000. So roughly 24 on average, 24 to, what is the other? So let's say 24 to 3,000 on average for one client per year. Now, 3,000 to pay, and then possibly even more depending on, if they want mega volume or whatever. 3,000 roughly for someone to pay per year just for lashes alone is not necessarily cheap, right? It's a service, again, like we talked at the beginning, it's going into the bucket of being a luxury service. What does that tell us? We have to understand how to set a client persona avatar the way that we did it when Cosmina started the salon. We said, right, we have to give this person a name. We have to understand what's the age bracket that this person falls into, what type of job roughly she has. So we said her name is, so we'll call it client avatar. Her name is Jenny, and she's 43 plus years old. She lives in Winchester, which is just 15 minutes away. Winchester, Mass. And she works either in a bank, real estate, or finance, making roughly 65K to 75K a year. Why is this important? You now have an idea about where Jenny is hanging around, what kind of groups is she into. It doesn't mean just Facebook groups or Reddit, or this can also mean events, right? You might want to go to a real estate event because a lot of the successful women in real estate, obviously they care about their look. They care about, they put money into like how they dress, how they, all the makeup and the hair and the lashes, right? Like at first, you also have to understand, all right, what does the service itself, what do you think lashes do, the most important thing that lashes do for a successful, let's say, woman that works in a bank, real estate, or finance? It saves her time because in the morning, she doesn't have to spend. So once we know, for some, especially women spend a lot of time in the morning getting ready to go to work. In this case, someone that has a lot of meetings as a real agent in this case, or maybe a real estate broker, or maybe like for my moving company, one of the biggest and the most successful referral, it's a real estate broker owner, and she actually falls into this exact, it's funny, she's not actually a client of yours, but we need to put her in touch.
The other one is the other realtor.
Regina.
Regina.
Yeah. So once we know that the most important thing that lashes do for a client like this, now we know when we do either postcards, let's say you go to this event and you have a table booth, or you have a booth with a tablecloth on it, like what the headline can be, right? Like you have to, are you familiar with ChatGPT?
We just talked about this earlier.
You have to download the app and you have to start using it.
Yeah,
starting
and I
tonight.
went back from Lithuania.
Because it's even for your parents, because it works in any language.
Yeah.
Like even voice. Like I showed my dad over FaceTime, and he was like, "Get the hell out of here!" Like, is that real? It works in any language, and you can. There's no task in the world that you can tell me that I cannot come up with something to save you. I don't know, whatever. Reports, financial reports. You can take screenshots of your 12 months of bank statements, and you can tell GPT, now make me a list of all the poorest choices that I did with my spending habits. And literally, based on the screenshot that you give him, is going to help you do that. You tell him, so market research, especially in your case, you tell ChatGPT, my name is, and I am going to start my lash business here in Cape Cod. Do the market research for me, especially the newest model now, the newest update. Do the market research for me and give me the top 5 direct competitors, inspect their website, inspect their name of the salon, and give me 10 options for a catchy name for my lash business. ChatGPT is going to give you a list of 10 and then you can choose one from there. Then you can say, now make a list of all the complementary businesses that could refer me clients, meaning hair salons that do not sell lashes, nail salons, everything in between. Pretty much a restaurant can give you clients. Like from the moment you start your business, any interaction that you have anywhere you go, you have to have this in mind that the server that brings your dinner can bring you customers. You just have to have a business card that has on the back a QR code. Yeah, you can use Vistaprint, Canva, canva.com.
If you got a passion for lashes, let me see it. It's time to level up. If you need me to, I'll teach you my 6-figure secret. Better believe it, 'cause I believe in you. You're listening to the Full-Time Lash Artist Podcast. If you want to jumpstart your lash career, you can also watch Cosme's free lash training at www.fulltimelashartist.com. Let's grow.